Can our thoughts change our world? Do we need to replace our negative thoughts with positive ones? Is it that simple?
Our thinking is like the car we drive. Okay? It's not who we are, it's just the car we drive. Okay? Although some people might think their car they drive is who they are, right? But it's not. Okay? Now, if you improve your thinking, if you improve or change your beliefs, it's like kind of improving the car that you have. You went from a V6 to a V8, or maybe you got turbo put into it. You got better suspension. Maybe you got better lighting. Hey, maybe it's like one of those like in Thailand. They've got the disco balls inside. And you got lights going off inside. You got better speakers. It improves things. Okay, does that change your entire reality? It's going to take more than that. Okay, it changes how you experience your life. Does it create your reality? Well, the car doesn't drive itself. The car doesn't create the reality. There's someone driving the car. The part of you that drives the car is what changes your reality. Okay? Your thinking and all your beliefs is the car you have. What's missing is the driver. Right? The driver is coming from a much deeper place. It's a soulful place. It's your soul. It's energy. It's not just what you see on your physical reality. So when you think it's your thoughts only, I would say, well, you're not driving the bus. It's you're going on a ride. Okay, and sure, you can change that ride. You can change how you experience that ride. You can change the wheels on your car. You can change the exhaust. You can change the power output. You can put turbo. You can, like everything, all the examples I gave. And they will change things, but they won't change where your car is driving. Do you understand? The journey it's on. Maybe your car is driving up a mountain and it's dangerous. Lots of windy roads, right? And, maybe changing the suspension will improve and changing your tires, it will improve your driving. But you're still on a windy road. You're still in your life, you're on a windy road, and you need to be cautious. Okay? Who changes your reality is that which you think you're not. Like, it's not who you think you are as this body that changes your reality. Who you are as this body influences your reality and changes the experience of your life. But to change your journey, to change the road you're on, to be a flat road, to be a straight road, to be a windy road, to be downhill, to be uphill, well, that's got nothing to do with the car you're driving. The car you're driving has just got to do how you experience that. So to change your thoughts to be positive and negative, or being more positive rather than negative, which anyone would say, yeah, that's a good thing to do. I agree. It's not going to change your life. It's going to change how you experience your life. And ultimately someone will go, well, that's, I guess, your next question. What's going to change your life? I guess first you must change how you experience your life. Okay? How you experience the road that you're actually currently on. And that will lead you to witnessing and observing the driver. becoming more familiar and remembering, oh, there's another part of me that I've disregarded because I've been so consumed with my external world. The only part of my internal reality that mattered for me was my emotions that I was having, which were all about my external world. No, it's not what I'm talking. You need to find your internal. You need to connect with your soul. You need to reconnect with a part of you that never was born and that never dies. A part of you that's eternal. And that might be a little bit too deep for you. Okay, I get it. But that's what's going to change your life. That is the part of you that's driving the car. All the other things that you're hoping to gain more control over your life with ain't going to change the journey. It's going to change how you're experiencing the journey, which is a great start, which is where we all start. We all start by being more positive than negative and, looking to change our beliefs and maybe faking it till we're making it, maybe, visualizing and, hey, can have a vision board, whatever. We all start there. The work goes far more deeper than that. And only someone who has commenced the work would understand what I'm talking about.
When we decide that things on the outside don't feel right, or we're feeling a yearning for something more, where do we begin with that though? Where do we start? You know that something's not right. How do we get started on that journey to getting to know who we really are?
Well, understand that something is not right. Look, some people won't like what I've got to say because it means taking complete responsibility for your life. And there's some things in your life that you're not willing to take responsibility for because it's not your fault. And I get that. We've got the coronavirus at the moment. Hey, that wasn't my fault. I didn't go and eat a bat like someone in China did, right? What's that got to do with me? That's not. But you got to understand everything is happening in your life for you, right? From you. But not from you as this, this thinking being. It's another deeper part of you. So people won't like what I've got to say, but hey, look, I'm having a cup of coffee here, right? My little latte. I take a sip of that. And if I have a little froth on my nose, what are you going to say? You go, hey, Mia, you got something on your nose. How embarrassing, right? Am I then going to look into the mirror that's to my left and wipe the mirror clean? Or am I going to look at the mirror and go, oh, thank you for letting me know, and wipe myself clean? It's what happens in the normal mindset is that something takes place in the world. We either give credit to it or we blame it. Okay? And that's the crazy part. We are looking at the mirror, looking at something that's not right. It's wrong. It shouldn't be there. It should have never been there. Should have never happened. Right? And we are trying to wipe the mirror clean, thinking it'll take the foam off. Worse yet, we look at the mirror and we're looking for something that should be there. Maybe I need longer sideburns. Maybe I need a bigger nose, or maybe, okay, most people don't want bigger nose, but bad example. Bigger breasts. Can I say that?
Yeah,
right?
I do.
All right. So, and you look in the mirror and you draw bigger breasts in the mirror because you want something bigger. You want something more, right? Right. But you're drawing it in the mirror. It's not where it's going to take place. It's got to come from you. You become the change, as Gandhi spoke about. You be the change you want to see in the world, right? Even the things that you want in your life, you can have it as long as you can feel and you have space for that. And an internal process is a space thing, okay? It's an energy thing. All right? Whenever I want something that I love to have this. I love to meet the right woman, meet the woman of my life. All these scenarios have played out for me. I love to, get in the aviation business. I love to start speaking and coaching. Whatever it is I love, right? Unless I feel space around that, I know that there is more work that needs to be done for me, right? If I feel a lack of space, and space feels like, it's almost like you can feel what it is that you love, and around it there is space. So it feels like you are allowing it to come into your life. You're not even trying to bring it into your life, but there is the only word I can think of is there. It's an allowance. There is space around it. When there's no space, you feel attached to, how can I make that happen? Oh my goodness. And who can I persuade, or who can I manipulate, or who can I, motivate in order for things to happen, for me to bring that into my reality. And that's what it's like. It's like, we're going to make this happen. That's what it feels like. I'm just being a little bit dramatic here, but that's what it feels like. And you justify it. You're just like, yeah, but that's what it is. That's life. You got to work hard. You got to make it happen. You just got to go. Well, maybe not, because when you have space for it, you just feel this. It's almost like you feel you feel the thing that you love in your life, but you feel the space. It feels like the aura, like you're feeling the space around that, and immediately you have this feeling of a knowingness that, you know what, I know this is going to happen, right? And you can't explain it. You don't know why. There might be nothing to validate or to support your knowingness in your story, right? In your circumstances, there might be nothing that actually can support that knowingness, but you know. And what you're feeling is that space. Yeah, and that's what I mean when I say the only thing you lack is space. People think they lack money. It's not money. People think they lack opportunity, possibility. No, it's not. You lack space. To me, there's different levels of consciousness. Okay, so at the conscious form, where it's like your consciousness is influenced by form, by the physical, then yes, you want to change your beliefs. You want to change your thoughts. You want to have positive thoughts over the negative thoughts. But as you go deeper, it's not about the beliefs and stuff. It's not about the thoughts. It's actually about the space. And I call it the third phase, or the third level of consciousness. At that point, you don't have the space, you become it. Okay, so again, we got into talking about Gandhi and being the change you want to see in the world. So going back to what we're talking about, here's your mirror. You want to remove something, so you wipe the mirror. You want to add something, so you draw it in the mirror. And it's like, why isn't it happening for me? And even if it does happen, it happens momentarily. And even if it does happen, it either happens momentarily, or it doesn't give you what you thought it was going to give you. It doesn't feel like what you thought it would feel like to have that in your life, or to lose that in your life. Because you're wiping the mirror, man. And that's the thing. That's your reality, right? Which is a reality of perception.
How do we become connected to our internal and then bring that out into the external? So how do we connect to who we truly are to then show up as that person in the physical world to change our reality?
Well, the internal is not a measurable thing. Okay, so it's not something that can be articulated in words. For me, the internal process is something that is there within you, that's there to be moved. And when I say moved, it moves from within you to come outside of you. You are expressing it, you are creating it, you are moving it, you are sharing it, you are giving it. Right? It's something that is there within you to be born. Born into what? Born into your physical world. Through words, through your actions, through your expressions, through your creations. So that's the relationship between the internal and external. When you lack the internal, you look to the external as a measurement or a validation, to actually determine who you are. So you are looking in the external to look for approval or look for acceptance or look for recognition. This is all you're looking for from the external to determine who you are. Where when the internal, you're looking from your internal to give birth from who you are. You are creating. An artist will know what I'm talking about. A musician will know what I'm talking about. They look within themselves. They feel the music. They look within themselves. They feel the image. They see the image, and all they do. Who was it? I said Michelangelo, I think, was talking about when he creates a sculpture. The sculpture already exists, he says. I think it was Michelangelo, was it? Maybe not. But anyway, one of the greatest artists from the time, I'm pretty sure it was Michelangelo. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, he finds a block of marble. The image is already in there. He's just removing anything that doesn't look like the image that he sees in his mind. So it's already there. You're giving birth to it. Any creative person will know exactly what I'm talking about. It already exists. It's an internal process, and you are bringing that internal, whatever it is that you see, feel, or connected to, you are forming that into an external reality, whether you are creating something, painting something, singing something, acting something, expressing something. It already exists. And that's the thing about the internal. Everything that ever was, everything that ever will be, everything that is already there. Because it's infinite, right? And if it's infinite, it already exists. It just exists from a formless state. So your mindset has to connect to something that hasn't yet formed. But it exists, it's just formless. And what you're doing is you are turning or manifesting that formless into form by painting it, by speaking it, by acting it, by expressing it, by giving it, by sharing it. And it's a giving process. It's not a taking. You're not going to paint that if you're in the mindset of how are people going to receive what I'm painting, which is what am I going to get from this? How much money is this going to be worth? That's a give me process. No, it's a giving process, not a give me process, right? Anyone who's creative, if they ever understand their creative block, why they get that creative block is because your attention went on what is it going to give me? Is it going to give me acceptance? Is people going to approve it? Is it going to make me wealthy? That's called the creative block. Because your attention went on what is it going to give me? Put your attention back on what are you here to give through your creative process, and your creative block will disappear.
So we are all creative. We just think we're not creative.
Everyone's creative. I mean, if anyone thought that they weren't creative, it would be me. Like, I didn't think I was intelligent when I finished school. Obviously I failed high school. I did no creative work at high school. I mean, I was just a sport guy, right? I played rugby and touch football and rugby and touch football and rugby league, and that's all I did, right? I was the sporting guy at school. I had no creativity. Music class, art class, no. So for me, I had no creativity, right? Didn't do very well in English or any other language classes, it was very interesting. And so I didn't think I had a creative bone in my existence, in my body, right? Until I realized that my creativity was coming when I was playing rugby. Do you know, I would follow my instinct. I would respond like and see solutions. You know, I would go against the play that we planned for, right? Or a play that was too risky, but I just knew that we needed to do this. But I never forget, right? I realized my creativity was there. And I believe everyone's creative. It's just everybody doesn't see it. Creativity doesn't necessarily mean you're a poet. I'm definitely not a poet. Doesn't mean you're an artist. I'm definitely not an artist. Doesn't mean you're a musician. I'm definitely not. Do you want me to give it a go?
No. I trust you on that.
Do you want me to sing? My brother would kill me because he's a musician and be like, do not, right? So that's the thing. It doesn't mean your creativity. I mean, hey, what about making love? Just for someone who's just thinking for a sec. No, I don't even play sports. I got no. Well, yeah. Do you make love? Like, do you get bored of making love? Because, no, you don't. Because someone might go, well, I'm bored with my partner. Right? Okay, I get it, right? But the point is, when you're making love with someone, right, you're being creative because you're not thinking about it. Because if you are thinking about it, we all know what happens when you think about it. You're disconnected. The partner feels disconnected with you. Things stop working, if you know what I mean, right? So, but when you're making love with someone, right, you feel what to do. You're being creative. Following your feelings is being creative. You can feel your partner wants this or wants that touch or... Do you understand? Yeah. Just to give you an example, because people think they're not. What about cooking? Right?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely creative.
That's definitely creative. Right? There is so many forms of creativity. I met my wife, and when I met her, I told her about how I cook, and I cook intuitively and I'm very creative. She never got to see that. And to this day, though, I tell her, the moment you moved into my house, you said, this is my kitchen, please stay out of it. So till this day, she hasn't seen me cook. But anyway, I'd love to get creative in the kitchen. I just make it up, My point is everyone's got a form of creativity. Otherwise, you're not alive. You've got it. You're just not seeing it. Because you think creativity is to paint, creativity is to sing, creativity is to write a song or write a poem, it's to write a book. No, it comes in so many different facets, so many different forms, and it's about you finding how it's coming through you. So I realized that I had a creativity when I was playing rugby, right? From that, I failed English. My English teacher, when I would go to my English class, she was the deputy principal. I'd walk in before I sit down. She goes, Amir, just sit outside. That's the relationship we had. She just sit outside, and that became my every English class probably for the second half of the year 12. Walk in, Amir, you know where your place is. I just go. So my lowest grade was English, right?
And you're a speaker.
I'm a speaker. I'm an author.
You're a coach.
Yeah. Okay, I still admit I do use spell check from time to time
who doesn't?
Bloody hell, the spell check has made me weak. Because, if the spell check wasn't there, I'd try harder. Yeah. But anyway.
So creativity is actually within all of us. It's just that we look at creative as the creative arts, when really what we should be asking ourselves is not necessarily are we creative, but what is it that we feel a love to express?
Yeah.
And that's creativity is really self-expression.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's exactly that. Is making love self-expression?
Absolutely.
Creativity is self-expression. You just got to be willing to express. Okay, because some people are afraid to express. There's only one reason we're afraid to express. We have a fear of rejection. A fear that it might not be received. But you got to understand one thing. When you are expressing, you are doing it for yourself. It's a giving process. Okay? If you're looking at whether it's received or not, you are doing the give me process, give me acceptance, give me validation, give me approval, give me recognition. It doesn't flow. You got to give express, you share, whatever form it comes in, and you let it go. Right? My wife gets very particular about her cooking. Sometimes she'll cook something and, I'm very honest. And I'm like, oh, babe, this is missing salt. And she gets so offended, right? Because there's a give me process. She's looking for validation. She's looking for, hey, did you, I know what Sheila's looking for. I can tell you straight out. She's looking for appreciation. Do you appreciate that I cooked for you? Right? And don't get me wrong, you probably think to yourself, well, who wouldn't? I get it, right? But the full creativity is all about what you're giving. And this is the thing. If you stay with the giving process, right, you will feel fulfilled in the process of giving, because as what you give moves through you, you feel it as you. So you are receiving from yourself, within yourself, the moment you give of yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, but
You're fulfilled. Your expression is complete. It's about your expression. It's not about how other people receive it, which would then bring back to when you say find something worth failing for, because even if others view it as a failure, you felt the success in giving it. It doesn't matter how it's received.
Well, the thing about failure, and we've spoken about this in the past, it's not when someone fails in whatever it is that, maybe it's a relationship or it's a business or something they're looking to create. But if they experience what they perceive to be failure, the failure is most painful because of what others think of their failure rather than their actual failure. If you be honest, you're thinking, okay, I feel sad about myself that I failed. But most people can, if they choose to, just pick themselves back up and go again. But the reason why they don't is because their attention is on what others think of them because of their failure. And therefore, they don't pick themselves up, or they find it more difficult to pick themselves back up because they're like, what if I fail again? They're going to think I'm a real idiot. I've just failed twice. You're like, what's wrong with you? Right? We are afraid of people's rejection, which is we are afraid of not being loved, because it's not rejection that we fear. It's actually not being loved. So failure is not the end result. Like, failure is a bend in the road. You get to a bend and it's a bloody 90-degree bend and you're like, it's a dead end. Just open your eyes. No, it's just bending to the right. All right? You needed to get something along the way to your path to success, right? If you like. And you hit a 90-degree bend in the road and you're thinking, oh, it's a dead end and it's a cul-de-sac. I've got nowhere to go. You just got to open your eyes and see that the road's going to the right, right? Failure is only when you get to that bend in the road and you're thinking to yourself, I failed. No, you haven't failed. You just picked up something that you needed to take the next phase of your journey.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It's a signpost. It's not the end of the line.
It's not. If it's the end of the line, okay, you can say I failed. But if it's getting you somewhere, for me, it's success or any accomplishment is not in the outcome and result. It's actually who you needed to become to attain that outcome and result. The greatest success that you're going to have is the person that you became to be able to attain that outcome result. Because once you become that person, you can attain that outcome result over and over again. You can duplicate that. You can do more of that. Do you understand what I'm saying? But people think it's in the outcome result. No, it's in who you need. That your greatest achievement is the person that you became in order to attain whatever it is that you were looking to attain.
So without expanding ourselves and who we're being and how we're showing up in the world, we will never obtain the outcomes and results of what we truly desire.
You need to have the right mindset. And the journey or your failures or your rejections is helping you, supporting you to build the right mindset, to become the person that you need to become in order for you to achieve the things that you came here to achieve.
So what would you say to people who look at their failings and decide, right, well, that's it. I give up. That's clearly not for me.
Well, look, sometimes that is the case. Let's be honest. Like, you don't want to keep banging your head. Like, sometimes we decide to do something that we never really decided to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you decided to do something because you thought, if I did that, I will be happy. If I did that, people will like me. If I did that, I would become rich. And the risk with those kind of scenario is that it's not really what you really wanted to do it. It's not like what you really loved. So in that case, you may notice that you're going down the road and you're beating your head against the wall over and over and again. And it's like for you to realize, hey, you know what? This wasn't what I really wanted. I keep experiencing rejection. I keep experiencing failure. And this is not what I want. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's be quick to kind of point something out. If the feeling, your heart's still like, this is what I want. I'm 100% clear. This is what I want. Then you never stop. Right? But if you beat yourselves, you hit your head against the wall a few times and you're like, why am I doing this? Right? And you don't find a why in that question, then hey, stop doing it. Right? You didn't actually decide to do something you really wanted to. You decided to do something because you saw it on social media or because you got influenced by the general media. Or you looked at your friend and you thought, well, they done that, so if I do that, I can live like them. Like, it's not what you really want.
So it goes back to finding your why.
Always.
That's the baseline. That's the foundation.
Always.
Finding your why. So what I wanted to wrap up this episode with today is a question to you about where we're at in society today with all the possibilities that are available to us with technology and freedom of information and the internet. Yet we are the most depressed, dissatisfied, perhaps anxious and stressed that we've ever been. Where are we going wrong?
Well, I think it's all about connection, isn't it? I don't know if we're going wrong or right, but the thing is that if you're connecting to something other than yourself continuously, like if you're connecting with your device more than you're connecting with yourself, if you're connecting with your device more than you're connecting with your partner, with your kids, with your friends, with your family, then, you're going to have a lack of connection. So whatever you're connecting with is what's gonna expand and grow. Like if you're connecting to something outside of yourself, like a device, like that's gonna suck the energy out of you because you're giving your energy to that. If you connect with yourself, which I think it's the most important thing that anyone can be doing. Like for me, if I don't have a connection with myself and I continuously, like on a weekly basis, give time to myself to connect with myself, if I don't give connection to myself, I don't grow. I'm not doing the work. I'm not connecting with who I really am. So therefore, when I go to connect with things or my family or the people that I love or the things that I do, I lack connection. So it to me it's all about connection. It's disconnect yourself from the device and not just your device, it's just someone needs to find connection, and you need to continuously grow your connection with yourself, right? Just like a seed that is put into the soil, I like that, into the soil, I was going to say, as a seed is put into the soil, it doesn't just grow. The soil's got to be good, and the soil is like your mindset, and B, you got to continuously water it, and you got to give it sunlight, and that's like the connection, right? You got to keep connecting to that seed. You got to keep connecting to yourself. You giving yourself space and time and having like alone time is like you giving the seed the sunlight and water, and the soil is having the right mindset. Like it's not just being closed off. You're just being closed off. It doesn't matter how much water. Like if I put a seed into a drought-affected soil and it's just hard, it's not going to grow. Okay, it needs to be the right mindset, and what the right mindset is, it's open. Like That's the beginning of any change of mindsets or any growing mindset or any expanding mindset is have an open mindset. Be open, right? Not just be open for someone to put something in your mind and influence you, but be open to see how you feel about what you're seeing in your world. Be open to see how you feel about what you're hearing. Be open to think for yourself. To me, that is the soil, right? And the connection is watering it. It's giving it light. And of course, that's going to sprout. It's going to grow, and it just expands in our life. So to me, where we've gone wrong, if you like, is we're connecting, not to the wrong things, but we are lacking connection to what really matters, which is ourselves.
To who we truly are.
Yep.